Kyle, so good to see you. Today we are going to talk through 5 steps for tax-free Roth IRA distributions. It may be more confusing than you ever knew. The benefit of funding a Roth IRA is the availability of tax-free distributions in the future, but the rules can be complicated, which is why we're going to break it down. First step is to follow the ordering rules. What does this mean?
Hey, Erin. Yeah, absolutely. This is a good topic because it can be so confusing for people. And I'm glad we're going to go in the weeds on it all. But when it comes to Roth, there's really 3 types of Roth money that you need to be aware of. They're your contributions, your conversions, and then your earnings. And each of them is treated a little bit differently.
And we will get into that. Now, I'm glad you brought up contributions. This is one reason I always get that confused too. Your contributions are always available tax and penalty free.
Yep. So not a commonly known fact, but even if you're 30 years old, for example, and you haven't satisfied that 59.5 rule where your whole account is tax-free and it's open for 5 years, you can still withdraw your own contributions at any time. So that's the regular contributions that are subject to, the earnings limits and then the maximum contribution amount each year. That's your own money that you're funding your Roth with because it's all after-tax money in that case.
Still, you always advise don't touch that money unless you really, really have to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The idea is to save it.
All right. Next, watch out for the 10% penalty on converted funds. Converted funds are always distributed tax-free, but that doesn't mean you can tap the money before 59.5 without a penalty.
Yeah. And then this is another one that really trips people up. And the main reason why is what you just said, the age 59.5 rule. So before your age 59.5, if you're converting a part of your traditional IRA into a Roth, you have a distinct 5-year clock where you have to wait on that money before that conversion. Remember, it's different than the contribution becomes tax-free to you. And usually you have to wait till a 59.5. Now, after 59.5, the rules do change quite a bit.
Right. They become much easier to understand. Also, know when earnings are tax-free. We have to meet a few requirements for those earnings to be tax-free. What are they?
Definitely. So here's that third type of Roth money that I had mentioned earlier. Your earnings are what has grown in that account over time, right? And that has got to satisfy 2 basic requirements. And that is, 1, you have to be age 59.5 or older for those to be considered tax-free. And 2, you have had to have that account open for at least 5 years. And that is a per individual clock, not a per account clock. So as long as you've had that open Roth money for 5 years, you're good. Now, there are some caveats, obviously, death and disability in certain cases, that money can be available tax-free as well.
And I'm glad you mentioned, okay, let's dive into the 5-year clock for qualified distributions of earnings. The 5-year period can be really confusing. What is it that we need to know?
Yes. So the general 5-year clock for the account is, like I said, it's per individual. You have had to have a Roth funded for at least 5 years. Boom, you check that box off. All of your contributions and earnings, once you've reached age 59.5, now it's all tax-free to you. Great. Here's the caveat with the conversions, though. Remember, I said each conversion has a distinct 5-year clock. But if you're over age 59.5 and you've already satisfied the account being open for 5 years or more, each conversion that you do now is not going to be subject to that 5-year distinct clock for the conversion. It's going to be available to you immediately because you've satisfied the other requirements. So this really opens up a lot of planning opportunities. And if you really understand the pieces of it and take the time to learn it, Roths are not as constricting as they may seem to be at first glance,
Right. And we do have a bonus tip. If you are younger than 59.5, make sure you pay the tax on conversions with outside after-tax money to avoid a 10% early withdrawal penalty.
That could be big if you can make that conversion directly between the IRAs and then just pay the tax out of pocket, out of an account separately. If you can afford to do it, that can be great and really help you set up your growth for the long term on those funds.
Definitely should be part of that calculation when people are determining if they should do a conversion. Yeah. All right. Well, Kyle, again, more complicated than we may have realized. If somebody wants to sit down with you, talk about, Roths or Roth conversions or their 5-year clock, when they should pull out those earnings, what's the best way to reach you?
Best way is through our website. That's firstcoastfinancialgroup.com.
Great. Kyle, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Erin.